How you doing everyone? Scott here, and this is going to be an inspired video, and the person who inspired this is Metal Mickey, Mike. Mike basically posted a photo on Facebook to a kind of CD collector's page to say that he was listening to a CD for the third time that day. I think it was a Kiss CD, Hot in the Shade, that's what it was. And it kind of inspired me to make this video because we've all got, well, I think we've all got these albums, CDs, vinyl, whatever, that we can always return to, or we always play 2 or 3 times in a day just because we enjoy it that much. You've obviously got albums in your collection you might only play once a year, maybe once every couple of years, but it's good to have it in the collection. But then you're going to have those albums that you always return to, and if you do put it on, you want to listen to it a couple of times just because it's so good. So I'm going to give you 10 of my repeat offenders. So that's probably what I'm going to call this video, repeat offenders. So albums that I maybe want to play once a month or once every couple of months that just get a lot more play than the rest of my collection. So it turns out I've picked 5 CDs and 5 vinyl LPs. So I'm going to start with the CDs. Now this is open for a thread, so I'd like to see your repeat offenders as well. So the first one I'm going to go with is, we like throw it at the camera, Savatage and Streets, a rock opera. Just a CD that I've been playing a lot recently, especially in the car. Just some really catchy riffs, and I mean, Savatage are one of those bands that just don't get mentioned enough in the VC. They're just so good. Their albums are phenomenal, and this one is really catching my ear right now. So that is the first one. Next one is an oldie but a goodie, and it's Megadeth's Countdown to Extinction. Now, I did know this album and I just didn't really give it a lot of time, and I've been listening to it the last maybe year, 6 months to a year, and it's just that kind of go-to Megadeth album that I pick up right now. It used to be Rust in Peace, but right now it is Countdown to Extinction, so always worth a second or third play. Next up is an album that was released last year, and this album is actually my introduction to this band, and it's Kreator, and the album is Gods of Violence. Picked this up I think at the start of the year, and it's just phenomenal. Every track's just blistering, and I just can't get enough of this right now, so whenever I'm in doubt of what I want to listen to, I pick up Gods of Violence by Kreator. Next up is a bit of Black Sabbath, and this always just seems to be the album that I go to. Now I do prefer Dio on vocals for Black Sabbath, but for some reason this Aussie era album is just a Black Sabbath album I always pick up and want to listen to, and it's Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. Just awesome, and it's not really, I mean, it is a bit, I'm not going to say before my time because I hate when people say that, but it's not like the standout era of Black Sabbath for me, but this is definitely a standout album, so that always gets a lot of play from me. And the last CD I'm going to show is from Vince Neil, and it's his debut solo record, and it's Exposed. Now if you've not checked out this album, it's just amazing. I really love it. I just like Vince Neil's studio voice, and I say studio because live is crap, but this is really worth checking out if you've not already heard this, especially if you're a Motley fan. So that is Vince Neil and Exposed, always getting a spin. Now on to the vinyl that I've been playing a lot, and I'm going to start with a release that was released this year, February this year, and it's by the heavy metal band Burning Witches, which is an all-female metal band, and if you want to know how these sound, it's like Judas Priest but female. Really, I'm not sure why I'm showing you that, but really great stuff. So if you've not checked out Burning Witches, this is their debut album released this year. Go and check it out, just absolutely awesome. So that is the first on vinyl. Next one is one that's just been really, I just keep going back to, and it's not a perfect album, but it's one that just really works for me when I put it on, and it's had a lot of play from me recently, and it's TNT, Knights of the New Thunder. I think this was released in 1984, and yeah, just one of those albums I just keep going back to because the songs are so catchy, the riffs are catchy, the melodies are catchy, so it's always an album I kind of turn to if I'm struggling for what I'm really in the mood to listen to. So that's TNT and Knights of the New Thunder. Next up is from 1989, and it's Faith No More's The Real Thing, which I absolutely just love this album. It would be a perfect album if it didn't have the song Zombie Eaters on it. That kind of brings it down a bit, but this album, apart from that song, is absolutely awesome. So whether it's on vinyl or CD, I'm always in the mood to put this album on. So that is Faith No More and The Real Thing. Next up is a new album to me. It was released in 2016, but I listened to this on MP3 a lot because at my work there's a lot of time that I'm kind of working on my own. I can just stick earphones in and I can just work away while listening to music, and this is an album I can barely put down. I bought it about 3 or 4 months ago now, but it's Testament's Brotherhood of the Snake, and I absolutely love this album. It's just amazing. Even if when you listen to the opening song, Brotherhood of the Snake, self-titled song, it's just awesome. So this is always on the turntable. So that is Testament, Brotherhood of the Snake. And the last one I'm going to show is just, I think it's a favourite of a lot of people, especially metal rock fans, and it's an album I probably visit once a month at least. I just need to hear it because the songs are just so good. For me, it's a perfect album, and it's Iron Maiden and Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. Just an album I can put on any time. Sometimes I've got to stop myself putting this on just because it's so good. Yeah, I mean it's one of my favourite albums of all time, so sometimes I just need to go, no, pick something else because you've listened to this thousands of times, but it's just so good. So that is Iron Maiden, Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. So they're the 10 albums that I kind of, I would call repeat offenders. I always go to, and if I would say I listen to these albums at least once every couple of months compared to other albums on my shelves that I hardly ever revisit. Whether it's I want to listen to them every couple of months, or when I do put them on, I've got to listen to them a few times in a row because they're so good. So I would invite anyone to put up their own list of repeat offenders, and you can let me know what you think of mine. So until next time, I will see you guys in the next video. Cheers.